What's up, guys? It's your boy Trey, aka TAKK, here with another Palworld OCG video. Today, one of the exciting ones, we're going to be going to tournaments. So we're going to a grand release tournament up in Monticello, Minnesota, at Lewis Games. So super excited. Built a deck. I'm going to be playing what I'm going to call Bees and Friends deck. So green with a little splash of purple in it. I will have the hopefully have the actual deck list either in the description or posted up while I'm talking here. I'm super excited. Unfortunately, there are a lot of decks that I really wanted to play, but it's so soon after the release that I wasn't able to get a ton of product, so I just kind of had to pick and choose, and I had just enough to be able to make a deck like this. So this first tournament is just going to be kind of for fun thing. Obviously, we're trying to win. Obviously, we're trying to be competitive. I want prizes. I want everything like that. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm really, really excited and got to get on the road, so hopefully I'll have more video of either playing against opponents or of the store and just kind of all the cool stuff that they have. And then hopefully prizing at the end, I can show you some cool prizes that I got. All right, well, let's move on to the next thing. All right, guys, we just made it to the game shop. So what I'm going to do is head in, make sure I get registered, got everything okayed, and then make sure it's okay to, walk around, record, things like that. And then get some gameplay recordings as well, as long as my opponent's okay with that. So it's really going to be completely dependent upon that. So I hope I can get you some good game footage. If not, I'll at least get some, whatever prizes and participation stuff we get from the tournament. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're back. I apologize. I was not able to get some game footage for you guys. I was pretty rushed, and I'll explain it in just a second as to the situation. But I just didn't get a chance to set up. I didn't get a chance to ask my opponents. It was just kind of one round to the next round, and did not have nearly as much prep time as I thought I was going to. So I'll jump right into it. We were going to the grand release tournament in Monticello, Minnesota at Lewis Game Shop. Pretty cool place. I really enjoyed kind of the layout. It's obviously just store. It's really deep. So it's storefront at first. You walk through all of it. They got a bunch of cool trading card game memorabilia, cards, packs, booster boxes, stuff like that. Then they have a lot of other games memorabilia in there. And they have their game area in the back. It's a pretty sizable game area with multiple rooms. But we just so happened to be playing an event that also had two other card games playing an event. So it was a little packed back there, trying to find opponents and do all that stuff. But otherwise, I mean, what else are you going to get from a game store and, organized play? There's only so many days in the week that you can stack all the trading card games that we have now. So the grand release tournament, it was a 16-man tournament. I got there about 15 minutes before, and I went to register and got up to registration, said, name, username, stuff like that. I registered on Bushy Road Navi app. And the guy kind of looked at me, and he was like, I'm so sorry, but the tournament's full. And I just went, no. What? I registered early on the app. So apparently there's not perfect communication between the app and the actual game stores. Sometimes the app will let the number fill, which I thought was a wait list thing, but really most stores are going first come, first serve. So you walk in, register, first however many they get. Some tournaments only do 8, some tournaments do 16. I've seen as much as 64, but those are for bigger cities, things like that. So I was, my heart just sank. I was like, no way, I just missed out on this opportunity. Oh, that kind of sucks. And I was just like, ugh. And so the individual that I was talking with, super cool guy, explained everything to me. They had an individual that was doing demos, so you could still play the game if you wanted. And they were going to be selling, after the first round, selling out the trial decks, the extra trial decks that they had. And then also, after the first round, we're going to be doing a raffle. They had a case of the Dawn of Palpagos, first edition booster boxes that they were going to be raffling off. They weren't raffling them off for free. They're raffling them off for a chance to buy one. It was the only case they had for sale. So people were pretty excited about that. They sold them at $65, which I thought was a little bit expensive. But I understand it's a new game. It's got a lot of hype. Online, the booster boxes are insanely priced. So that, even to most people, was still a steal. I guess I'm just, going from my pre-order price where, I got a heck of a deal. So that's just my mindset. And I do know that some local game stores from around us will mark up the price slightly, but not nearly to that much. But I understand a game store. You got to make your money when you can, that kind of thing. I'm glad that they kept it low enough so that it didn't price people out of playing the game. So as I was sitting there, I had the option to stay or just to leave immediately. I decided to stay. I was like, hey, if I get a booster box, or maybe I can play some games with a demo individual, or, hey, maybe do I want more trial decks, that kind of thing. Still want, the special parallels, the super special parallels that they have in them. So I was like, there's a chance, I guess. So I hung around for literally like a few seconds to a minute. They had an individual that was going around making sure that everybody that wanted to play and registered for the tournament was there. And they came around right to the guy that I was next to and was like, hey, we're actually missing one guy. He registered, did all this stuff, and he's not in the store anymore at all. So they kind of discussed it for a little bit, and I just kind of slid over and was like, hey, if you need a 16th man, I'm right here and prepped. And so he's like, they all kind of look at each other. The guy running it goes, why not? We can't switch your name for their name in the Bushy Road Navi app, so you won't get any of the perks, the little name tag, all that stuff. It's like, but you do get the prizes. And I was like, sign me up. So, I started getting my deck out, and he's like, oh, no. For the first week of these events happening, it's only trial decks. And I was like, oh, okay. I had just spent, obviously, as you guys saw earlier in the video, I had just spent time building the Bees deck. So I was like, I have opened, as you guys hopefully have seen in the previous opening videos, I've opened the trial decks. I really have not played with the trial decks at all. So he asked me red, blue, or purple, green, and I just went, purple, green. Like, I just remembered more pals from that deck, and I was like, I understand a little bit more of the pals and what they do in that deck. So immediately handed this to me. He's like, good luck. You need to go over to this table right now because the timer's already started. So I went over to that table, sat down with my opponent, and just jumped right into the tournament. And so I was glad I got to be a part of it. It was so awesome. Perfect timing. Glad I stayed. Incredible. So jumping in the round one, I immediately sat down, cracked open the trial deck, got out my cards. This is going to hurt you guys. It hurt me. I did not have enough time to sleeve them. I didn't have enough time to put down my mat that I had with me. So I, for the first time in probably over a decade, played with unsleeved cards, probably over 15 years, if not more, played with unsleeved cards on a table. And it felt awful. But I was like, I got to get into it. I made sure to check my deck. Don't worry. I made sure to check my deck to see if I had any OSRs, SPs, or SSPs. I did not have any of those, which was sad, but it made it a little easier to be able to shuffle those cards. So I shuffled those cards as quickly as I could while not damaging the cards. Set up. I drew my first hand for that first round. I was playing a red-blue deck. Drew my first hand, 5 cards. I could tell my deck was not shuffled nearly enough. I had 2 copies of a gear and 2 copies of event card, Stone Blast, and then so I had the Spear, the Stone Blast, and I had like 1 pal in my hand. And so I was like, nope, bad hand. Mulligan that, shuffle, get out my hand again, just as bad. I didn't have enough time to shuffle to get a really good flow to it, and it kind of led into the rest of the game. So when I jumped into the game, lost the coin toss, went second. Really just had a tough time getting anything going. I was basically top decking pals and playing them down. Like that was my strategy, just hoping. I was using Stone Blast to be able to bump some of my pals' power, especially because it's a quick card. So it was pretty nice to be able to help me out in some dire moments. Luckily, my opponent wasn't drawing super well either, but had a much better board state constantly than I did. I mean, it was wider, had multiple pals, was able to keep some pals standing to be able to block when necessary. I did not get that luxury. And really just kind of had to fight for my life. Even so, it kind of did come down to the wire a little bit, which was nice, but eventually I got overwhelmed and ended up losing that match, so it knocked me out of contention for the cool Lylene championship playmat, which is really what I was there for. So kind of the GOAT cards for me during this matchup were 110% Bronze Cherry, 7-drop, Taunter, 1500 power. It really stopped a ton of stuff from swinging into me when I was able to get to that point to be able to play it. Some others were, Stone Blast, the event card, plus 500 to 1 pal for the rest of the turn was awesome. I mean, even on my opponent's turn as a quick ability, when they tried to run something into one of my guys, especially my Taunters, being able to boost that up was incredible. And then also, Eek Third Year was another Taunter that I used. That was a 6-drop. That was super, super helpful. I mean, those were my guys through that match that really kind of kept me in it. I got Mamorist too late as a 2,000 power, huge striker. It just didn't matter at the time I got. Now, the cards I had a difficult time with absolutely was Mamorist Creased in the red-blue deck. It is a unit of a boy. And so he is a 8-drop, 1,700 power, but for every structure that you have in play, he gets plus 200 power. By the time he got this out, he had 2 structures in play. It was a 2,100 I could not deal with. I couldn't get past. So I ended up having to use Hanging Trap, assigning one of my pals, one of the very few. I don't think I had more than 2 pals on the board at any point. One of the very few to be able to exile it just so I did not have to deal with it for a turn. And eventually he overwhelmed me, got the best of me, and just, eventually took me out. So it was really sad to have that happen, especially because I really had the mindset of going in there, winning every match, getting that championship playmat. Like, that was just my entire mentality. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, and I think that just having that poor start, not even almost getting into the tournament, and then kind of last second being able to jump in, just threw me off just enough that I couldn't get the win there. And gosh, I wish I shuffled my deck more. I do so bad. And because of how quickly everything happened, I wasn't able to get out my camera. I wasn't able to get out the little stand that I have for it. So I missed that game, and then immediately that game was over. By the time our game was over, they were calling out who was winning the raffle, and I did not win the opportunity to get a booster box, which I was perfectly okay with. First of all, a little bit expensive for me. In my opinion, I guess it's not what I want to pay for it when I know what MSRP is, things like that. And I've opened several boxes. About half the tournament, I feel, had not played the game before / were new to the game, which I thought was awesome. It's what these tournaments are about. It's fantastic. I would much rather have them get the opportunity to get a booster box after playing the game once and be like, this is awesome. I want to get into it. Give me some cards. Even if I would have won, I would have 100% had them re-raffle off, just because I want those guys to have the cards. I don't need them. I've got more cards coming, that kind of stuff, and I got them for less than MSRP. So that was really cool when they did that and people started cracking packs and stuff like that. It was awesome. But after that, I really quickly sleeved my deck, and then kind of got back into the mindset, shuffled my deck so much. I mean, I don't think my deck left my hand, minus the soul cards, obviously. Left my hands and was not being shuffled until I sat down for round 2. So, for round 2, I faced a mirror match. Green-purple deck, and I got to talking with my opponent before the match. Obviously, he had lost his first match too, was super bummed about it, but was one of the coolest people ever. I legitimately did not get his name. I only got his gamer tag that is shown on Bushy Road Navi. And so he's Logie Bear. So shout out to Logie Bear. That's all I know you by. I would assume your name's Logan, but I'm not going to make that assumption entirely. So it was super fun meeting you and hanging out, though. So we played the mirror match, and the exact same thing happened in the first game when it came to dead drawing, but it was the opposite way around. I got a hand where I was like, this is average. I'm gonna mulligan, shuffle it back in, and see what I get. My second hand was pretty solid. I mean, I had good just starting points, and he mulliganed and drew another card. So I could just kind of see on his face that it was just a dead hand, and I was like, oh, this sucks. So he won the coin toss. I went second again, and so it just kind of in the same manner. I was playing down pals. I could go wide. I had structures. You know, I don't think I ever played any gear, but I had structures. I had pals always, and was just kind of clearing his board every time. I could tell when it was bad, when it was late game, and he was using 3 souls to be able to draw a card. And I eventually did run him out of cards as well. And so at some points he was like, no cards in hand when I asked, and I was like, I shouldn't have asked that. Like, that was so mean of me. Like, I could have looked up and just seen that he didn't have any cards in hand. So the kind of GOAT cards for me this time around were Lee's Punk. I mean, just ramming it into his other 200s, 200 power pals and taking them both out, but then also discarding cards from his hand was absolutely filthy throughout the entire game. I controlled his hand most of the time. It was pretty awesome for me, at least, not for him by any means. Then we had Eek Theater. Taunt again. It kept a lot of his pals from being able to hit into me unless he went with 2 pals, which was awesome because I got to trade 2 pals for my 1. I mean, it was the whole point. Again, it gave me board consistency. It gave me board control. So that was awesome. And then I really sealed the game with Fellbat. Fellbat, a 7-drop, 1,000 power. It has stealth, so it cannot be blocked. Didn't matter if he left up a standing pal to be blocking. He went right past. If I was trying to do strike damage or if I was trying to take out one of his rested pals, it did not matter. And when Fellbat attacks, I gain 1 life, and that was the difference. I was consistently staying above 8 life while just kind of attacking. And I used all my other pals to control board state while I used Fellbat and his 3 strike to be able to just attack face and heal myself constantly. It was just kind of the game ender. So I got to get up to Fellbat. Fellbat was a sick card. I knew it was going to be a good card when I first looked at it in the set review video that I did, but in practice it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. So for my opponent, I mean, he really kind of went through a lot of different cards. It just didn't quite click, and I felt bad because, I mean, he was using all the cards that I was using, and I drew better, and that'll happen. Any seasoned trading card game player will tell you sometimes you're just going to draw poorly, and it's just not going to be your game. And I've felt that before. I've seen it on my opponents before where they just can't get anything going, and honestly, sometimes you hit a point where you're like, I'm not winning this game. I'm going to scoop. I will say Palworld's a little different though because you can change the board state pretty quickly. It can happen in just the blink of an eye. So I say for this game, play it out as much as you can. If you can endure one of those bad situations, I say play it out. Play it out for sure. So I ended up winning that round, which was awesome because for the round wins, you actually got a pack of cards. Now, I misunderstood. I thought I was going to be getting the promo card packs that have been shown for shop tournaments. I thought I read that on the grand release information as well. Now, that could still be true, and this shop just did it differently or didn't get that product in for this tournament. But it was just packs that they had. They had a loose booster box, or maybe it was... No, it couldn't have been from the case because they raffled off 12. So they must have had a couple extra booster boxes just for prizing people out. It must have measured that out. So that was nice. Got myself a booster pack. So into round 3, which was going to be the final round, it was going to be a Swiss round, 3 Swiss rounds, and then for the 2 undefeated individuals, they would play against each other for the championship mat. So in round 3, I played another red-blue deck. I was ready this time, though. I felt like I was like, I know it's in the deck. I know what I'm trying to evade. And I know how to kind of control everything. And I felt very comfortable with the purple-green deck at this point. And so we started off. I actually won the coin toss, so I was like, I haven't gone first yet. Like, let's see what that's like. It was weird going from my curve of odd numbers to my curve of even numbers, especially because it felt like in my deck, I had a lot of odd numbers, which helped out with my interrupts, which will come into play later. So I had a really, really good starting hand. I didn't mulligan at all at the beginning of this. So I had a really good starting hand. I mean, I had basically my first like 3 turns played out, and then I was top decking pretty well as well. My opponent had an okay start. I think I went a little bit more aggressive than I normally do, and just thought, I've got the opportunity. Why not make sure I control board? So I was really controlling board, and then I was hitting 1 strike, and then it would go through. 1 strike, and it would go through. And I did that on turn 1 too. Played down Leaspunk, went straight to face. Wasn't going to use him as a blocker or anything like that. And he understood what Leaspunk could do. So, I was doing damage right away, and it was just 1. It's hard to top deck the Lucky on a 1. And so I was not only doing that, but discarding out of his deck and just tried to keep board state. I really kind of kept that consistent right up until late game where he got Memorous Creased out. And I just thought, of course. And he, again, had 2 structures, so it was a 2100. So I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? So I got my Bronze Cherry out. Of course, my Taunter. I had to have my Taunter out. And so I had a couple other smaller guys, but I just couldn't create an opportunity to be able to do 2100 to be able to get rid of this thing. So I thought, you know what? I've got to stall it out and just hope and pray. And I top decked a Fellbat, and it's late game. I know my opponent only has 3 strike left. I know he's going to come into me. And so 2 turns in a row before I top deck Fellbat, and I'm trying to get attacks in, and I'm going to him directly. I've cleared board minus the Memorous Creased, and so he's been attacking with it, or at that point he had attacked with it to clear something on my board, and so I was going just face, trying to get the last 3 damage, and kept hitting a Lucky on the 3rd card. I was like, these are perfectly distributed to be able to stop me from winning this game. And then I finally thought, you know what? I just got to go all in. If he hits a Lucky on this attack for my Bronze Cherry, and before this turn, I had interrupted his Memorous twice to be able to stop it from attacking and taking out my Taunter, because then he couldn't hit face. I had a decent amount of health. I think I had probably 7 life points. So I was sitting pretty well, but still, that thing hit the Memorous Crease, if I'm remembering correctly, hits for 4 strike, and it could take me out pretty quickly. And so I finally went in for an attack with Bronze Cherry. He hits a Lucky. And I thought, what are the odds he can do that again? So I drop Fellbat, go immediately in, go for 3 strike, flips him over, has to take the damage. I end up getting the win, so that means 2 packs for me. And I just felt pretty good. I was glad to be able to get in some real games. That was the best part, was joking around, chatting with all the people around us. Actually, in that last round, I was sitting next to one of the undefeated guys. It was super cool. I watched him win very quickly. He was also playing green-purple. And then I saw at the end of the table the 2 other undefeated guys battling it out, both red-blue decks. So when it comes to balance, I really thought that the 2 decks were pretty balanced. They do different things, so you have to prioritize different things. But overall, super duper fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved playing the game. It only solidified me wanting to play the game more. So kind of going to an overall experience, I liked Lewis Games Shop. I thought it was a cool place. Had really good workers and people there, and it really supports a lot of the games. Again, I thought they priced the Palworld, product a little bit high, but no higher than anywhere else you get it. It's still going to be cheaper than anywhere else you can find it online. So I understand the game shop needing to make some money, and I'm not going to hold that against them by any means. Overall, the gameplay, super fun. The atmosphere, the energy of the players, super fun. I was super, super excited to see how many new players, what I'm going to consider new players. I'm also a new player. The game hasn't been out for more than a couple days. But I was super excited to see people that had not heard about it and showed up for that tournament that day with nothing on them, basically. They got a trial deck while they were there, and they started playing the game. I think myself and only 2 others actually brought decks, and I actually got to play against Logie Bear, who had built the nighttime deck that I really wanted to. So I got to run bees against him. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish the game, and it was really kind of a back and forth. I think he had the edge on board, but I had just created a system of playing down Lylene. I got a Elizabeth out. Then I was able to use Elizabeth after shuffling. I hit a B guard, got another wood, tried to do it again, hit another B guard, and it had changed the board state a lot. But unfortunately, we had to get to the 3rd round, so I didn't get to finish that game. It made me excited to play the game even more, though. So that was awesome. And I did really enjoy the store doing the raffle as well. Not just being like, okay, the first people here get to buy the product, or somebody else gets to buy the product that may not be opening it or appreciating it as much as others. So I think raffling it off after round 1 to all the individuals there, and even letting me join the raffle, even though I originally wasn't going to be playing, I thought was really cool. I really, really liked that idea, and it gave some of those really new players a chance. I think there were 8-ish individuals. I think almost all of them got into the raffle and won, and then were able to get that, and they just started ripping packs. It was super, super cool, and I just loved the energy behind it all. So overall, it was a really, really fun atmosphere, a really good time. It's got me really excited to go to more grand release tournaments, more shop tournaments, and then really getting into Palworld. From the cool hits that everyone got that day, we watched an Ephaldrin. I think it's Elphadrin Aqua. I might be incorrect on the pronunciation of that. I'm still getting used to all of them. It's just something I'm gonna have to get used to. Elphadrin Aqua. Someone pulled that in their red-blue trial deck, so I was like, yep, okay, it can happen. I've seen it now. It was awesome. They appreciate that so much. I knew that's what got him. He was one of the individuals that won a booster box and immediately started ripping the booster box after round 1. It was super cool. And then I saw a Jormuntide special parallel, and I saw someone ripped a Jormuntide Ignis out of their booster box super special parallel, which was super cool to see. So honestly, pretty solid case on those. I think I saw one super special parallel, and then I think I saw 2 special parallel, or that's what I think that's about right. That's what I saw. From the trial decks, I think I saw that one, Elphadrin Aqua SP, and then I don't think I saw anything else that anybody showed me, at least. I would assume somebody got an OSR out of all the decks that we opened, but not guaranteed by any means. But it was super cool to see everybody get hyped over the cards, over the artwork. In the Bees deck that I played, I do play, and I know, don't get mad at me, I did play my Lylene super special parallel, and I got it out. It was the Lylene that I got to play, and who I played against, Logie Bear. He immediately went, "You have my chase card. You have my chase card." And I was like, I got super lucky on this, and I had to tell him how I got it, stuff like that. So he was hyped about that kind of thing, and it really kind of showed me how good the community already is for Palworld, and I'm super excited again to get into it even more. So that all being said, I had a great time, but we've got one more thing to do, and that is we've got 2 of my winning packs to open, and I have 1 pack for my trial deck, and then I get to show you the promos. So for this event, you do get promo soul cards, and they are pretty sick looking. I've actually only seen one of them, because you can see one of them as you get it, but the others are a complete mystery to me. So let's dive right into that. All right, guys. Well, here we are with our promo soul cards, which look absolutely sick. I am a big fan. And then our packs. So our 2 1-packs, and then from the trial deck that I had to furiously rip open, and luckily I brought extra tokens, stuff like that with me that I could get out. But then we also have an extra pack in there that we'll open up. We'll open up that one last. But first, we will jump right into the actual promos. So for individuals that are like, no, don't open the promos, I am always going to open up the promos. I mean, if they're playable / I think they're cool, I am going to open them up. So you will see me open these up. Because I also want to see what the other promos look like as well. So we've got the first Soul. Very cool, based upon the green purple deck. Second Soul, about what I expected with the red blue deck. So the third one, oh, cool. Did not mean to drop that card like that. Very cool though. Got some of my favorite, some of the best characters on that final one. And this does have like a little bit of foiling to it too, which is kind of cool. I didn't expect that. The first one has a really tough time showing it, but I'm sure you can see with the others. Yeah, this one has a tough time showing it too. That last one, it shows it the best for sure. Okay, but those are our 3 foil cards. I'm gonna actually sleeve them up while we've got them out. I might as well sleeve them up because they're just gonna go on the front page of my binder, which has my unique soul cards on it. Beautiful. Awesome. Depending on how many copies of those I get, I will very much consider actually playing them, which might upset some people, but I think it's fun. Okay, let's jump right into packs. We got 3 packs to go through. Let's see what we can get. Hopefully we can get something really solid. And it's been so long since I've opened one of these packs, I can't remember how I used to open them now. It really hasn't been that long. I'm more joking around. See, I opened that one like I open most of these packs, which is haphazardly and dangerously. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. We got it, guys. Don't worry. Okay. So let's see what we got. Found an Egg. Pyron Cindersteed. Makeshift Handgun. Univolt Valiant Thunderclap. Shoddy Bed. Grappling Gun. And then Bushi Ephemeral Blade. I do have a few of those, so not super exciting for me to pull, but you know what? He's fine, I guess. He's fine. Okay, other pack. And I don't know what kind of, what the other pulls were from said packs, or from, just everything else that everybody got. But I'm sure that other people got better packs than what I'm probably going to get. All right, so we're going to go Nox the Silent One. I've had enough of good luck anyways. The Wooden Wall, Tefant, Fountain of Cheer, Elphadrin, Gentle Radiance, Maraith, Twilight Messenger, Digtoise, Keen Needleback, and Patalia, Sweet Blessings. That's not a bad card. Patalia is actually pretty playable. Super meh packs, but you know what? It's more cards to add to my collection. We'll open this up. I won't show everything else in it. I'll just get the pack out and we'll do the pack opening. But you get, playmat, tokens, rules, that kind of stuff. If you haven't seen my other videos, feel free to stop over, watch those videos, watch those Palworld opening videos. I get some pretty sweet pulls that you will not want to miss. They were just awesome, and I had so much fun opening everything. I can't wait to open more, as I'm doing right now. Okay, so final pack. Hopefully we can get some last pack magic. I forgot to give it last pack magic, but Viewing Cage, Daydream for Slumber, Alarm Bell, Valet, Bewitching Blossom. I don't know how to really say that one. Menace Sting, Dark Mist Dwelling Scorpion. Ooh, Lily's Strategy. I do need more Lily's Strategy, so a little double rare for us there. That's kind of nice. I can get behind that. And an Azure Robe, Water Dragon Waltz. So I definitely wanted the Lily's Strategy. The Azure Robe, I think I have that in super rare too. So that was kind of average. But nonetheless, all packs that we got from our first tournament in Palworld. So I'm pretty excited for what we got. And I can't wait for more tournaments. So make sure that if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, click that little bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future content that I have going to be sending out, or will have coming out. And then also make sure to comment down below what kinds of videos for Palworld you're looking for, or if you're interested in any of my other TCGs, let me know what videos you're interested for those as well. Well, I think that's it for this time, guys. So until next time, peace.